Right. Say hey, everyone. Welcome into another edition of Say Hey. Please. There we go. Fixing the mic here in a second, getting all my shit together. It is nice to see everyone in the chat bright and early on a Sunday morning. Shout out to you guys. As always, yes, Say Hey plays back. We did not go yesterday. College football taking over the day, but Say Hey plays back today. It's nice to see you guys. Like I said, my computer's starting off kind of slow here to start the morning, so apologies if we had a real bumpy start there, but it is nice to see everyone, like I have been saying. Stacks in here. He's dropping a double stacks here. We'll talk about it right off the top here. Stacks play of the day. Yankees team total over 4.5. A little WNBA action for Justin as well. The over in Sky Aces. Shout out to Stacks. Stacks, 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 stacks. Saying shout out to you, Justin. Nice to see you. Steve G, a nice 2-0 day yesterday. Shout out to you, Steve. Gerald Jones, Irish King, new name in the chat. Shout out to you, my man. Thanks for watching. Dave McKenna, Gerald Jones, my dude in here. Rants, Wine Time Sports. Great job yesterday, Wine Time, on the live stream. Gravy Bets. Let's get after it here. Let's start off the show with a winning day here. I had a winning day yesterday, 2-1. So can't complain about that at all. Let's keep on rolling here. We're close to the black at this point. You guys can see the record at the top of the screen now. 2.6 units down on the year. We've been battling back and forth on that all year, and it's been fun to, I guess, try to knock this down. And it's been a fun little storyline, I guess, throughout the whole second half of this season. We're going to keep on doing it here. It's going to be hopefully winning capper by the end of the season. That is what we're shooting for here. So thank you guys, as always, for all your help. Let's get after it here. First game on our slate, Washington Nationals versus the Atlanta Braves here. And we will start with the market here. And let's make sure that we are all refreshed on all of our web pages here. Odds, weather, splits, the big refreshes I should do before the show, but we're doing it now here. Roto wires, of course, but let's talk about the market to start. We have Nationals Braves here. Very interesting market to start this off. Only 8% of the bets on the Nationals, but 66% of the money on the Nationals, shockingly enough. So yeah, 92% of the bets, only 34% of the money on the Atlanta Braves here. Total split. Let's go there as well. 72% of the bets and 75% of the money on the over. Let's check out the money line market and see if it's moved any here as well, with a sharp action on the Nats here. Opened up at minus 180. Got down to minus 175 at one point. Even got up to minus 185 at one point. Now settles around 184. So not much movement and not something... or not enough movement that I can back the Nationals here. With sharp action. Reynaldo Lopez, we all know at this point, has been one of the guys that I've backed and, supported frequently. He's been solid. His IL stint didn't affect him much, it seems. 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 10 Ks, 1 walk against the Phillies in his return to the lineup here. And let us talk about the Braves against lefties this month specifically, so you guys can know what they might do off of our guy DJ Hertz. Braves against lefties this month, second best, 137 weighted runs created plus 212 plate appearances against them as well. So it looks like DJ Hertz might be in a tough spot. I just can't get there, unfortunately. So no action here for me. Chat, let me know what you guys think. This is the Roku game. It is indeed. What up, Troy? Nice to see you. Troy Torrance dominating the MLB right now. I see the spreadsheet is in full tilt right now for you, Troy. So shout out to you. Rant saying MLB is way better, more plus money value than dogs than the NFL. I mean, I agree with you there, but I'm a little biased, obviously, since I bet them every day. But there's no action for me here. And by the way, I think the more amount of games definitely helps at times. But let's talk about our next matchup here. And it's the only game, excuse me, that I lost yesterday. Red Sox versus these Diamondbacks here. And the Red Sox are on shaky ground, unfortunately. And I saw my guy Red Sox stats tweet out today that the Red Sox will probably have to go about 22-12 for the rest of the season to make the playoffs or to have a chance to make the playoffs. And I'm obviously invested because I have the Red Sox to make the playoffs bet. So it's going to be kind of an interesting sweat or watch for the rest of the season. Joey Harbor, I'm feeling all right. I'm still nasally, and I guess I'm just constantly nasally, but I'm all right now. Thank you for asking, my guy. But let's talk about the market here again. We'll go into the pitchers, hitters, and see if we can find any value in this game as well. Very similar line or market, I should say, to the one previous to this one. 28% of the bets and 78% of the money on the Arizona Diamondbacks here. Let us see if this line has shifted dramatically, because who knows, might be on the Diamondbacks here yet again as we were on Friday. So let's talk money line here. Wow, we opened up at minus 142 here. We are now down to minus 130. Very interesting indeed. 12 cents. It got down to minus 126 at one point, actually, as well. Minus 125. But it has climbed back up every time to the minus 130. So that's interesting. It definitely feels like it's another Arizona spot. We've talked about Tanner Houck's fatigue potentially as well. Bookmaker, by the way, opened this minus 140 as well. It got up. It got down to minus 126, climbs back up, and then is now down to minus 124 there right now. So I do think that Arizona is going to be on my card here. We've talked about Merle Kelly and my belief in Merle Kelly and generally my belief in pitchers that come, especially veteran pitchers. They're coming in like midway through the season, or I wouldn't even say midway through the season at this point. They're coming in like kind of this late. I'd rather back them than fade them here, fresher, et cetera, et cetera. This will be a 7th start for Merle Kelly. And he's coming off of his first really bad one, I should say. 5 innings, 8 hits, 6 earned runs against Tampa Bay. So I just like the bounce back opportunity here. Tanner, again, we'll look at his innings count, because I just think that the Red Sox are trying to, tread lightly a little bit. 152 2/3 innings pitched. Previous high was 106. So I definitely think there's going to be a fatigue factor for Tanner, and it is concerning for me, honestly. His last 3 starts have been great. He had a little bit of a bump and then figured it out in his last 3. All 3, by the way, against all Texas teams: Houston, Texas, Houston. 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned. 6 2/3, 6 hits, 2 earned runs. 6 innings, 1 earned run. So just very solid from Tanner here, but I still don't have that trust in him. I really don't, especially with 28% of the bets, 70% of the money on the Diamondbacks. We opened up at minus 140. We're down to minus 130. So this thing will be a Diamondback spot here for me. 66% of the bets and 62% of the money on the over. Line has not moved from that 9.5 on that total. So Arizona Diamondbacks money line for me is going to be official plus 112 for me. So we'll keep it rolling here. And again, thank you guys for being in the chat, dropping your plays. Let me know what you guys think as always. But yes, this is a Diamondback spot for me. Top Set likes team total. Robert Franklin likes the money line here. Steve Fehrenbach likes the team total spots for the Yankees here. How annoying was that, by the way? I didn't move on the minus 300 yesterday just because I was trying to focus a little more on college football, and I only did 3 plays. And of course, they cash, no sweat. So it was a little frustrating to see, obviously, but I'm glad that people are still betting against the minus 300s there. So shout out to anyone that did. Irish King likes the Diamondbacks money line as well. So okay. So thank you, Irish King, for being in here, dropping your plays in the chat. Nasty Nate saying Red Sox smash. I hope they do, Nasty Nate. I hope they do. All right, next game. We didn't have a pitcher in this one, so I'll keep this one brief. Now that I refresh my odds page, I have Nick Martinez actually on the bump, so that's nice. Minus 108 favorites are the Reds here. So let's talk about Dabby Cab's pitcher of choice here, Nick Martinez. Who we again, if you watch this program, you'll know Dabby fades him almost religiously. And he had a mini stretch of pitching well, but his last 2 starts, he's finally come back to earth, it seems a little bit. 4 2/3, 4 1/3, 6 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 home runs allowed against Toronto, team that's not very offensively, efficient. This year is the word I was looking for, I guess. 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs against Kansas City, not bad at all. But maybe it's Dabby Cab infecting me. I didn't move on this game. I wasn't interested in moving on this game. Like I said, didn't have pitchers until just now, so makes it a little more tougher, obviously. 64% of the bets and 69% of the money on the Pirates here. And according to line movement sites here, we have a 7 cent, move towards the the Pirates here. Looking at Luis Ortiz, I think, and Orioles apparently. But yeah, I didn't move on this game either. It'd probably be Pirates or nothing for me. The Pirates have been slapping around the Reds in this last series, and it seems like the whole year. So no action for me on this one, but I would say Reds or Pirates or nothing here. All right, next one, and the game that was aforementioned by Steve here, Rockies Yankees here. He likes both team totals. Line is significantly lower than it was yesterday, probably because Gomber is not a bad pitcher. But you guys know I'm not going to move on this game unless the market really screams at me. But I doubt I'll move on this game. Gomber has been the king of the first 5 innings, so I don't mind if you guys are betting him first 5, but I'm not. And we've seen this, all of the, those splits first time through the order as well. So kind of a pitcher we know real well at this point. Real quick, for those who are interested, the most profitable first 5 pitchers and least profitable for this year. We've talked again. Gomber was one. Blackburn was one. The ones from this year, Eric Fetty. Shout out to Eric Fetty. Of course, that White Sox bump helps. Logan Allen, Trevor Williams, who's only 7-2-2. Michael Lorenzen, Luis Heel, Brian Bayo also on that list. Brian Wu, and Valente Belozo all on that list there. So we'll check that list here again of the most profitable, best record for those first 5 pitchers. But there's your notes as of now. Eric Fetty, still the king of the first 5 innings. Thank you, Andrew G. I'm not sweating, unfortunately, but maybe I'm just glistening because of this lovely light that I have here. But thank you, Andrew G. No sweat here, unfortunately. And shout out to you, Georgia Tech Bettor, Wager Detective. Nice to see that, my guy. I told Tech Cab on Thursday that I was going to bet Georgia Tech, Florida State first half with him, and then Georgia Tech full game money line. And I did the first half, and I didn't do the second half, so it was very frustrating for me as well. But shout out to you, my guy, Wager Detective. Okay, so no action for me here. Market in the total and the side, I'll give you that real quick. 98% of the bets and money on the over, and 97% of the bets and 100 allegedly of the money on the New York Yankees here. So Yankees getting a lot of love. Allegedly, according to Action, and I need to, or not according to Action, according to my odds site, and I'm going to refresh one more time. This opened up at minus 190 or 295, and it's plummeted all the way down to minus 228. That's crazy. We went from minus 295 all the way down to minus 255. And I thought, okay, that's a big move. But if we're going from minus 255 to 228 now, man. That's very interesting. I'll say this: the Rockies live in this game, I think, with all that line movement. That's fascinating there. I'll be interested in a Rockies team total in this game here. Let me double check that real quick, and then we can move on here. And it looks like my friends at Bet Online doesn't even have this game up right now, as I have to give it an old refresh real quick. Yep, we're back here. Rockies first 5 team total over 1.5 is minus 120. Okay, it's got me. So I'll move on that. Rockies first 5 team total over 1.5 minus 120. I will also be taking the Rockies full game. I think almost fucking 100 cents a movements almost. Jesus. That will convince me to move on them. With all the money on the Yankees, give me the Rockies here. Plus 204 full game. And like I said, first 5 team total over 1.5 minus 120. I also don't hate the 3.5 full game plus 105 for those of you who like that as well. All right. Next, let's see here. And Bumaclot, that 228 Bet Online. They're showing a minus 228 right now, plus 204 for Los Rockies. All right. Angels, Blue Jays next. Kevin Gausman Day on the bump. A very polarizing pitcher when it comes to Pup Sports Radio, contributors. Mikey fades him. Jimmy the Bag, backs him almost religiously as well. He's kind of been back and forth for me. I have not gone on one side of the fence or the other. One point I was fading him. Other times I was backing him. So I've got no real strong opinions on him. His last 3 starts, 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned against the Reds, 7 shutout against the Angels, 8 innings, 2 earned runs against the Baltimore Orioles. So he's kind of in a nice spot. I know his last start was a little rough, but still not going to trust him here. Tyler Anderson, who quietly has been a really good pitcher. Honestly, even his 10 and 11, I think his record is 10 and 11 record, probably an accurate indication of how good he is. And we know that pitcher wins are not that typically. 6 innings, 11 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. 5 2/3, 6 hits, 7 runs in his last 2 starts. Did go to the Yankees and threw a 6-inning, 1 earned run performance, but maybe the longness of the season and the fact that the Angels are playing for nothing is getting to him here. 153 innings pitched. He's been over this plenty of times before, so I'm not worried about fatigue either. So let's look at the market and see if the market has anything to say and make us push one way or another. 92% of the bets and 67% of the money on Toronto here. Opened up at minus 165 on Bet Online. It's down to minus 157. So that's interesting. That is very interesting. And totals wise, 75% of the bets, 83% of the money on the over. And we've gone down from an 8.5 juice to the under. Minus 125 is now 8. So interesting. No action for me. Probably lean a little Angels, though, just based off line movement, but no action for me here. Gravy bets mentioning Toronto 9-1 last 10 against their Angels. So good notes there. But no action for me here. Next, Cubs Marlins. Adam Oller back in our lives. Adam Oller of Oakland A's Fame. It's the last time I remember Adam Oller in the major leagues here. Shout out to the 20th round pick out of Northwestern State. He's made one appearance in the majors this year. That was on the 19th. It was a start. 4 2/3, 3 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 home runs allowed there against Arizona, who Arizona might be the hottest team in baseball right now, but still not a good start. Not really a start that inspires confidence either if you want to back him. His previous appearances in the minors, 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run. Just been solid in the minors, but that first start in the majors was not good. I honestly expect a little bit of a bounce back here. Cubs lineup is not too frightening, but I obviously not going to back him here. Just not enough confidence in the Marlins offense, honestly. Javier Assad has been quietly solid all year as well. 5 2/3, 6 hits, 1 earned run against Detroit. I will mention again, 113 innings pitched. This is his 24th start. He had 109 innings pitched last year, I should say. But I always think that the amount of starts is a little more interesting or more indicative of the exhaustion. So no action here for me in this game. But I understand, like I was going to say, I understand Troy betting on the Cubs here because Adam Oller is shit. So I'm not going to, move too much on this, or I'm not going to move at all on this game. But it's trying to back these big dogs like I have been is trying to, trying to force a round key in a square hole. So maybe I'll try to be a little more selective on these dogs, but this was not one of them that I was interested in. Troy saying that I have to be more cognizant of the open as well. The line movement without considering the price itself is worthless or less valuable. So that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, Troy, I understand exactly why you're on the Cubs here. You're on the Cubs quite frequently, and it cashes for you, and I completely understand, especially because the Cubs, we talk about the Cubs being in last place throughout the whole fucking year, and now that I refresh my standings, they're like second? I mean, I know they're 10 games out of second place, but second place, you'll take that, I guess. I mean, 500 is not what the Cubs wanted going into this season, especially with allegedly the best manager in baseball. But from where they were, a lot better. So no action here. No action here for me. And shout out to Billy Friedrich, wherever he is. I hope he's watching some White Sox baseball. Texas Cleveland, next game on our slate. Matthew Boyd, one of my guys here. I've had hard eyes for Matthew Boyd, thinking that he's going to pitch well all year, and then he finally gets his opportunities on Cleveland. 2 pretty decent starts at the Yankees. Tough start, 5 2/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs on 2 home runs, and against the Cubs to begin his season, 5 1/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run there. Again, I've been a Matthew Boyd guy for the whole season. I thought he was going to pitch well. I believe he's going to be a free agent after this year, so he's got all the motivation in the world. On the other side, we have Cody Bradford, who is turning into Cole Ragans 2.0. I guess the Rangers traded Cole Ragans, and they probably traded Cole Ragans because they believe in Cody Bradford, if we're going to be honest. But he's been solid throughout the 7 starts now that he's had in the year. 7 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs. And 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run in his last 3 appearances. Pittsburgh, Minnesota, and New York were his opponents. So pretty decent opponents as well. Let's see how the Cleveland Guardians are hitting against lefties, and maybe that will get us somewhere here. Cleveland, 19th against lefties, 98 weighted runs created plus. Pretty average. And we all have, I mean, if you've been watching baseball, I'm sure you've noticed that the Cleveland Guardians lead in the AL Central is dwindling. Minnesota and Kansas City both 2 games back of them. So always very interesting to keep track of those. Who knows what happens with Cleveland coming into this last few weeks. But there's just, I just cannot get there with the Cleveland Guardians here, it seems. I want to see some line movement. I do want to back them with my guy Boyd. 83% of the bets and 94% of the money on the Guardians, though. And that will definitely keep me off because we've barely had any movement with all that money on the Cleveland Guardians. Opened up minus 123, now minus 125. Got down to minus 119, actually, at one point as well. So, 2 cents of movement with all the money on them. Just not a spot I want to be on. Not a spot I want to be on. So, Markel's pass, I'm right there with you. And I will stay off here. Total market for those interested. Where are you here? I've lost Texas Rangers. There you are. 90% of the bets and money both on the over here. And this total went from a 8.5, juice to the under minus 120. And is still there. So no action for me. Easy pass, as they say. Let's keep on rolling. Detroit, Chicago White Sox. This is kind of the spot I was thinking about earlier when I was talking about being a little more picky choosy about my dogs. Not yesterday, but the day before I was on the White Sox. Chris Flexen. We had all the stats. They're like 2 and 22 with Flexen on the bump. 0-18 now. And I backed them, lose, and I was like, okay. At what point are we going to back these White Sox into oblivion here? It was a little annoying that I did, and I've talked about how there's only 2 guys on the White Sox to back, and that's Jonathan Cannon and Crochet on occasions. But I think I know I am going to stay off this game here. Market, 84% of the bets, 67% of the money on the Tigers here. And we've gone up 14 cents, minus 140 to minus 154 with Bo Brisky on the bump. And it is kind of nuts that the Tigers basically don't have a rotation. Like, they have Tariq Skubal, and then they've thrown bullpen days for like seemingly every other day. So I cannot back the Tigers right now either with their bullshit they're pulling right now with all the injuries they're having, I'm sure. And AJ Hinch's a good manager, but I don't want to put my money on that bullshit. So no action here for me. Let's keep it rolling on. Philadelphia Phillies, Kansas City Royals, a great series here. A series that I think has been lined very high for the Royals to get people to bet the Phillies. Especially in game 1, we talked about that with Jimmy. I told him that I thought it was just way too high. It was Michael Wacha and it was Taijuan Walker, I think it was. And the Royals were like minus 140. And I was like, there's just no way they're priced this high and they don't win this game. Honestly, that's what I thought. And they did. I thought it was a little bit of a trap to bet the Phillies. Kind of feels like that here again. BJ's best bet on the Royals. Good luck, my guy, BJ. Nice to see you. But it does feel like that here again. Now, a little different pitching-wise. Seth Lugo to Colby Allard. I guess this minus 140 makes a little more sense. Colby Allard has had, 2 starts in the majors this year? 3. This will be his third, actually. Excuse me. So he's had 3 appearances. This will be his third start. 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run against Arizona, a team, again, scorching hot, but that was at the beginning of this month. At Seattle, 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run in that bulk relief role. And then he started against Cleveland, 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. So definitely seems like we're only going to get 4 innings of Colby Allard here, 2 times through the order. Not going to let him see a third time. Phillies bullpen. Let's see how rested we are. We had Jose Ruiz through 22 yesterday. He's not going to go. Tanner Banks and Jose Alvarado both had the day off yesterday. I'd be a little surprised to see Tanner Banks go, but Alvarado should be available. Jeff Hoffman and Kirkring both through yesterday as well. Both will probably be available, as well as Estevez and Strami here. So it is going to be pretty bullpen day as well. And BJ, it's very interesting that this line was minus 115 last night. Let's check and see that line movement here. And it feels like there was a pitching change as well. But you guys let me know because BJ, I saw this, or you're right, I should say. And it's funny that this line opens up at, according to Bet Online, this opened up at minus 134, Philadelphia, and then flips. I'm assuming that's just like a misprint or again a pitching change, but BJ's right. This line opened up minus 112, got up to minus 120, quickly to minus 130, and all the way up to minus 140 here for the Kansas City Royals. And like I said, it feels like you kind of have to bet the Royals here. Because I forgot who it was in the chat that he disagreed and he thought that the Royals were the trap here. And I told him I disagree because I think it's just more appealing for rec bettors that don't bet baseball every day to take a Phillies team that's in the division lead is probably the favorite to win the World Series at a plus 130. So I can see everything about that. Let's talk about where the money is. Wow. A little surprising. 77% of the tickets are on the Royals here. I definitely thought it would be the other way around. Only 23% of the tickets on the Phillies here, but 60% of the money on the Phillies. Interestingly enough here. So yeah, I definitely thought that would be flipped and have the Phillies have more bets in action here. Totals wise, 88% of the bets, 91% of the money on the over. Apparently, this opened up at an 8. I don't know why it opened up at an 8 here. It's all the way up to a 10 now. Again, that makes me feel like it was like a pitching change, but we went from 8, and then we it looks like it opened up actually at a 9, and then got to 9.5, and now we're up to the 10 here. So let's just disregard that 8. Say it opened up at a 9, and it still climbs up over a full run over to the 10 here. So, I mean, if you take like a Royals team total over in this game, I definitely wouldn't hate it at all. If I'm looking at it right now, it is 4.5 juice to the over. Disgusting. And we've talked, and we've had success on juiced first 5 team total overs, total over 2.5 minus 155 for the Royals. The only difference is here is that it's 2.5, and then the 1.5 are kind of money zones. So no action for me in this game, but I think the Royals are definitely interesting. Steven, great question about Royals against lefties. I'll tell you that right now. This month, Royals against lefties are 25th, 86 weighted runs created plus 248 plate appearances so far. So a lot of ground to make up if you want to catch up to that. I believe their full season is much better. Kansas City Royals full season only 94, actually 21st. So yeah, they're just not that good against lefties, and I can see why. Colby Allard is being thrown here today. So I'm off. If it was me and I had BJ's money, I would agree with BJ. I'd put that $500 on the Royals as a free bet. But I will not be moving on this game. Gerald asking about the wind, no problem. And of course, guys, if you guys have questions about anything you guys want me to let you know, bullpen, wind. When's the last time Joey Dickhead threw over however many innings? Just let me know. I'll be glad to stop the show and answer any questions we have here. And good question, because Gerald, you probably saw that total climb. You're asking, why is it climbing so much? 14 mile-an-hour winds blowing out straight to center. Dies down to 13 throughout the game, but still going to be a windy one here, apparently, in Kansas City. So make those notes. I don't like betting totals just based on wind, but make those notes. And by the way, it's going to be hot as fuck as well. It's going to feel like 107 as well. So hot, windy day. Let's see how it goes here. And that is according to Swish. Swish is not the best when it comes to the actual weather, like rain, but wind. Wind does a great job. So, all right. Next on our board here, and nice to see Dabby Cab in the chat here. Dabby Cab, star of our lovely college football shows that happened yesterday. I'm sure you guys tuned in for Florida State, Georgia Tech. Next week, it's going to be more of the same, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So shout out to you, Dabby Cab. Good luck, and let me know what game you guys are doing next week. Next, the king of the first 5 innings this year so far. The king of the first 5 innings, Eric Fetty versus Zebby Matthews here. Minnesota Twins, definitely in a spot where they're battling for the wild card, or excuse me, for the division still. And the line movement here, very interesting if you're a Twins backer. Full game money line here, opened up at minus 123 for Minnesota. Now up to almost minus 140 here for Minnesota. Crazy. 8.5 juice to the under is now juice to the over with, let's see, the bets and money here. 88% of the bets, 91% of the money on the over in this game here as well. It definitely does feel like since Eric Fetty moved to the Cardinals, it has not been the same. Backing him or how he's done. His Cardinals starts, he has 4 of them. This will be his 5th. His best one was against Tampa Bay, 5 innings, 1 earned run. It's not bad at all. Take time. 5 2/3, 2 earned runs against Milwaukee, 6 innings, 4 earned runs against Cincinnati, and his first one against the Cubs, 5 innings, 5 in that. So interesting. Let's talk about his workload here, because we've talked about exchange rates when it comes to innings. He's at 143 in a third right now. The max he's thrown in the major leagues was in 21. He threw 133. Last year, he threw 180 in the KBO. But like I said, I feel like these MLB innings and KBO innings not the same. I think there's going to be a lot more stress in the MLB innings, and I think there's going to be more exhaustion when it comes to the MLB innings. So I think the fatigue is definitely going to be a factor for Fetty going forward. Probably why I don't want to back him, honestly. And I understand, king of the first 5 innings. I think that's primarily based off his White Sox form earlier in the season. The White Sox, odds boost that he got just being on that team. But it's a tough one. It's a tough one for me to try to get behind him. And Matthews has been a guy that I backed several times this season. I like backing, top prospects coming up, unless your name is Paul Skeens, apparently, who I apparently love to fade and lose money on. But Matthews has had 2 starts in the majors, both varying results. Padres, 5 innings, 5 runs, only 2 of them earned. Royals, 5 innings, 2 earned runs there. We'll take the second one. What are we going to get from Matthews here? It's been since the 19th since he's thrown. So I'm a little worried about that. He might be rested, whatever, but I don't know. I'd rather him just stay in that routine and then have such a long time off in between starts there. So this is another stay off game for me. And I'm sorry if you guys, obviously, you guys are coming onto the show and you guys want to see picks and whatever bullshit. But as Jimmy says, we're not here to just make picks and just dick around here. I'm obviously betting all of these things, and I'm not trying to lose my money, ladies and germs. So if I don't have a side, or if I don't have an edge, I feel like I'm not going to move on it. And this just kind of feels like one of these spots here. It makes for a little bit of a boring show. I'm sorry, but it is what it is, unfortunately. It's minus 123 to minus 140 movement for you guys money line wise. I totally get why you guys would be on that. 87% of the bets and 74% of the money on the Twins. So line moving with all the money. And like I mentioned, that total went from a juiced 8 under to now over, with 88% of the bets, 91% of the money on the over. So no action here for me. And yes, BJ, we work too fucking hard. We have worked too fucking hard to get our money. Let's not throw our money away on a bet we feel like 60% sure about. How about we feel really good about a bet before moving on it? So, yeah. Let's go to our next game. And by the way, for those wondering, I do have 3 official plays in. If you've missed those, Diamondbacks full game money line plus 112 Rockies' first 5 team total over 1.5 minus 120, and Rockies' full game money line plus 204 there. Milwaukee, Oakland. Man, yeah, I mean, on the face, pitching matchup wise, I do want to back the Oakland A's here. We've talked about Joey Estes and all that stuff. But let's talk about the markets first, and then we'll get into Joey and Frankie Montas, who I've also backed. I don't know how many times it's been since he's moved to Milwaukee, but since he's moved to Milwaukee from Cincinnati, it's not been too bad at all. And I've backed him on occasion. 85% of the bets, 80% of the money on the Brewers. Wow. And this opened up at minus 125 and climbs to minus 140 now. Wow. That takes away any thoughts on being on the Oakland A's there. I'll tell you that. But, I mean, line moving towards the Brewers there makes sense. If you parlayed these spots, there's been a couple of them today. I've already forgotten what the other one was. I think if you just parlay like Brewers, the Tigers, and let's see here. Maybe the Royals, or the other team, maybe the Cubs, maybe perhaps all the teams that have had that, dramatic like 20-cent movement towards them, and they're all like minus 140, minus 170 ish right now. So if you want to bet them individually, sure, but if you parlay those together, I think you'd have a nice little payout there, and I think those all do come through for you, or for us, I guess. But I am not moving on a parlay, unfortunately, especially 3 legs. I only try to stay at 2. But this line movement's going to keep me off. I mean, minus 125 to minus 142 is dramatic. And again, 85% of the bets, 80% of the money on the Brewers, just not going to be me. 84% of the bets and 79% of the money on the over in this game. We went from an 8 minus 120, and we have not moved basically at all. It got down to minus 112 for the over, but we're now juiced to the over again here. So no action for me here as well. All right, let's keep rolling here. Again, thank you guys all for being here on a Sunday morning. I know these Sunday morning shows with just myself can be a little, they can drag on a little bit. However, we appreciate you guys joining us here in any way, form, whether it's on Twitter, YouTube, my Twitter, however you can find the show. We appreciate you guys. Hit the like button while you guys are here. We appreciate that. Comment. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the chat. And if you're on X, come over to YouTube. YouTube has the best damn chat in all the game. Guys like BJ Rants, Dabby's in here, Gravy Bets, Robert Franklin, my dude, Steve G, Aubrey Travis, my dude, Andrew G, Tony Cobbs, Truth Teller, Gerald Jones, Jarek White, all you guys, Mr. Heat, Steven Harrison, J Dub. I did survive the claws last night. Thank you. It's nice to see you, J Dub. But join the chat. It's a great time, great minds, and it helps me become a winning capper in baseball for sure. Definitely could not do this without you guys in the chat as well. But no action for me in this game. Let's go to a really good series here in Mets Padres here. I mean, 2 wild card teams not really battling out between each other for the wild card spot. But the Mets definitely within touching distance. This has been I'll tell you, a surprise season for the Mets, I'm sure. They're 2.5 games back of the Braves now. And as everyone knows, I have the Braves not to make the playoffs. So I would like for the Mets to, kind of get their shit together. But it's obviously tough matchups here. The Padres are a decent squad. Martin Perez, we all know that I like him. He's a quality lefty, especially when you get to put some pressure on him, put some stakes on him. I think he gets to be even better. 75% of the bets, 63% of the money on the Padres here. Ooh, okay. Now we're finally coming into a spot where maybe I can move on something. As I said, 75% of the bets, 63% of the money on the Padres, opening up at a minus 120 for the Padres. Now down to minus 116 for the aforementioned fathers there. It did go down to minus 113 and come back up. But like I said, I would love to move on the Mets here for my futures bets at the very least. But I do think that is an interesting line movement there. Let's talk totals here. 94% of the bets and 95% of the money on the over, with two lefties on the bump here. Minus 118, or sorry, minus 115 to the under 8.5. It is now juiced to the over, minus 120. 9 might be coming soon here, but none yet. And let's look and see, I should say, how both these teams are hitting against lefties. If the Mets are hitting well against lefties, I think I will be on them, and they are indeed. Mets third best against lefties this month. 155 plate appearances, 117 weighted runs created plus. San Diego Padres 14th, 161 plate appearances, 104 weighted runs created plus. Yeah, I think the Mets are the play here, and I'm going to move on them. Full game money line here. I will quickly check and see bullpen wise. I would like to see the Mets have their guys available. Beautiful. Only did Daniel Nunez pitch yesterday, 29 pitches. A guy like Ottavino threw 43 on Friday, which is kind of crazy to see him throw that many. But I mean, I'm really looking for Edwin Diaz and Reed Garrett, both available. Phil Maton also will be available. Ryan Stanek threw 27 on Friday. Don't know if he'll be available, but I think I'll trust the Mets bullpen with the pieces they have here. Padres, real quick. The Padres bullpen, as you guys know, is incredible. I've been talking about how good I think their bullpen is. And their bullpen is going to be ready to go as well. Tanner Scott, Robert Suarez, Jeremiah Estrada, all three of them will be ready to go here. So it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun game. I think the Mets win this game. It's going to be, if we get into the later innings and it's tied, I'm definitely going to be worried because obviously the Padres will have a bullpen advantage. But New York Metropolitans will be on my card here. I'm going to check the chat here. Let me know. Or I'm going to check the chat. I want to see what you guys in the chat have to say. But it looks like I'll be moving on them plus 106. So let me know what you guys think here. Padres bullpen is fresh as fuck. Yes, they are. That is the concern. Like I said, like if it's 3-3 and it's in the seventh inning, we might be SOL because they're gonna have all those guys ready to go, and the Mets will have, like I said, Reed Garrett, fucking Edwin Diaz, Phil Maton, hopefully, and then we'll hope for the best from there. But I believe in the Mets here, and I'll take them to the bank. They hit Martin Perez, and something I've been saying, that really good pitching only matters if they're up, and hopefully we can take an early lead and we can get the job done here. So New York Mets full game money line plus 106, going to be official on my card. It's going to be fun. All right, let's keep rolling. Next game, we have about 3 more games left. So again, thank you guys as always for being here. Giants Mariners, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this. After the Mariners just come back the other day, which really fucking broke my mind, because I think, and you guys have heard me say this, I think the Mariners are dead. Dead. And I'm going to fade the Mariners every day. I did it yesterday to get my money back from the night before, cashed it. I want to do it again here. And again, the obvious, scary part about fading the Mariners every day is going to be their pitching. They're always going to have the starting pitching advantage. There always will be. Brian Wu, better pitcher than Robbie Ray. I can confidently say that, honestly. But their hitting is horrible. Their hitting is atrocious, and I think they're just a team that's just kind of going through the motions right now. Like Randy Arozarena, for example. A good hitter, but in this lineup just looks horrible. Trying to do everything, trying to score all the runs, just not having fun. So I will fade the Seattle Mariners every day going forward, hopefully for the rest of the season. Because like I said, they're a dead baseball team, and I do not think they have any fight back in this season. So Mariners fade every day of the season. It started, I guess, 2 days ago. We're 1-1 officially. So let's go get our money here. Giants full game will be on my card. Let's talk about the markets. And this is not even like, obviously these are no market even involved in any of these games. This is like a wake up, look at the Mariners, who they're playing, bet the other team. And we will check the markets after, because I just think they're donezo. So we'll see. Markets, 84% of the bets, 89% of the money on the Mariners. Fucking great. Bet them. I want everyone to bet this Mariners team and believe in this Mariners team, because they're fucking done. Opened up at minus 128, is now down to minus 122. That is beautiful. It got up to minus 144 at one point. Oh, God, this is great. Now down to minus 122. As long as it doesn't go back up, I fucking love that. And totals wise here, 95% of the bets and money on the over. We went from a 7.5 juice to the under, now to a 7 minus 114 to the over. Yeah, I mean, here we are, guys. Miami Marlins. San Francisco Giants, full game money line. Let's just keep fading these Mariners until the wheels fall off. Well, because the wheels have already fallen off of that team. Plus 112 for me on San Francisco Giants, full game. So it's going to be fun. Outside new traveling laws, maybe a shorter name, but I like it. All overs. Miami's still 46-18 at home. I'm assuming that is to the over, so that's not bad at all. I like that move there, my guy. Truth Teller giving some good stats here as well. The Guardians as a home favorite, and their home field advantage this year has been really good. I think they have the best home record in baseball in general as well. 70.8 home favorite there, and Texas struggling there as a road dog. So good notes there, Truth Teller. Saying Guardians smash today. Good notes there. Top Set, a fade of the organization. I love it. Yeah, Top Set. If I could fade the Tacoma Rainiers in AAA for the Mariners, I would. I'd fade the whole organization top down. AAA, AA, all the teams. But I'll settle with just betting against the Seattle Mariners every day here. So let's ride. Next game on our slate, Tampa Bay Rays, Los Angeles Dodgers, a more entertaining series than predicted. The Rays are a very good bad team. I'm sure if you guys like listen to Bill Simmons or something like that, you guys have heard this before, the good bad team. The Rays are a bad team, but they'll be in every game. They'll fight. They've got a really good bullpen, and that really helps them. Now, they also suffer a case of the Seattle Mariners as well, meaning they cannot hit the ball. The Rays traded their best hitter to the Mariners, and he has not done shit. So it all kind of makes sense of why these teams suck offensively. Jacob Lopez on the bump here for the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, I'm sure, again, everyone's first question when you look at this game, who the fuck is Jacob Lopez? And why the hell do I care about Jacob Lopez? Well, obviously, he's starting this game. He's going to go about 1, maybe 3 innings. He's gone 3 innings once this year in the majors. Was not a good one, but he might go 3 innings. I don't expect him. Well, for example, let's back up the train a little bit. RotoWire has Jacob Lopez just listed, no primary. And it's obviously expected lineups is still, kind of a ways away from game time. But I expect there to be 2 innings max of Jacob Lopez. And then we move on to someone else. So we're in another bullpen day for the Tampa Bay Rays. And by the way, Jacob Lopez in the minors has gone 5-6 innings before. So maybe he does go. Who knows? We'll see. The Rays are very, confusing, interesting, analytical, to say the least, franchise. So I don't know what they're going to do there. But he's gone deep, and he can go deep. The bullpen, as I just mentioned, for the Tampa Bay Rays, I'll give you guys from the 19th, which I believe is the All-Star, or it was the trade deadline. Or was that the 30? No, that was the All-Star break. Excuse me. Yes. So the 31st, I believe, was the trade deadline, or at least it was around there. So I'll give you guys from July 31st to today, best bullpen ERAs. Number 1, 94 innings pitched, the Tampa Bay Rays, 1.91 ERA. And by the way, Troy Torrance, we've talked about how bad the Cubs bullpen was all year. Second in bullpen ERA, 2.81 right now, the Chicago Cubs. That's why they're a back team, and that's probably why they came from the basement of the NL Central to second place now. But this being said, do I want to try to fade the Dodgers here? No. Shohei Ohtani, who I can comfortably say this. You know, I didn't get to watch Barry, obviously, much. But Shohei Ohtani, clearly the best baseball player I've ever seen. 40-40 in the way he did it was amazing. 50-50, I hope he gets. He's going to be the first DH ever to win the MVP, and it's going to be awesome to watch. So I'm not going to fade Ohtani here. I understand completely if you guys bet the under in this game. The under in this game seems interesting. You know, you're getting basically a lot of Rays bullpen, which is really great, and a shitty lineup for them. Probably lean under here. Let's check the market in that game. And that it's a C. 93% of the bets, 95% of the money on the over. And we went from an 8.5 to a 9. Wow, that's interesting. I thought we might have a stagnant there, but 8.5 to 9 shows what I know. So I'm off this game, and that leads us to our last one here: Houston, Baltimore, Sunday Night Baseball. Great series. We've been bam, 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 right on like this series. It's been great. Oh, and by the way, Bob Harvard, you're right. Yeah, 2 MVPs. He's going to be the second person in MLB history, which has gone a long time, to win MVP awards in both the American League and National League. So, like, Barry, you know, shout out to you, Barry. It's nice to see you. I have not seen you in a while, Barry. I can totally see why people say he's not better than Barry Bonds. I completely understand. I'm just a young boy and didn't really get to see Barry, so I say Ohtani. But you know, it's a fucking great argument that I can't wait to have in the next 10 years, because all people are gonna say is, what's Barry Bonds done on the mound? You know, well, how many strikeouts does Barry Bonds have? How many pitching wins does Barry Bonds have? So it's going to be interesting. I don't know. But I mean, it's 2 amazing fucking hitters and baseball players. So, I mean, it's a great argument. Again, it's a great argument. But Astros, Orioles here. Let's focus on that real quick, and then we can talk Ohtani versus Bonds later. Dean Kramer, Yusei Kikuchi, maybe the best acquisition of the trade deadline. They definitely paid a lot for him. But just been solid since he's gotten there. This will be his 5th start with the Astros. He's not given up more than 3 earned runs against the Astros, or against anyone, I should say, with the Astros. 5 2/3, 3 runs. Only one of them earned was his last start against the Red Sox. If that's your worst start, then your fucking team will take that every single time. 7 Ks, 1 walk. But what is he going to do here against the Baltimore Orioles, which is always an interesting game? He's faced them twice this year, Kikuchi has. Both times held them to 1 earned run. First time, 4 1/3, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 9 Ks, 1 walk. And shortly after, about less than a month after that start, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, again, 6 Ks, 1 walk. It's funny. Typically, you get a little, or I guess typically I get a little more concerned when there's familiarity, like in division kind of shit with Kikuchi and the Orioles, obviously. But you know, if the pitcher just dominates the team, then how can you not feel a little better about that? So I'm looking at Kikuchi's all of his game logs now against the Orioles. So I just read you his 2 from this year. In 23, 4 2/3, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 4 2/3, 6 hits, 2 earned runs. 4 2/3, 3 hits, 3 earned runs. These are all just quality starts. Like, not by the game stat quality start, but I would gladly take all of these starts if I was the Houston Astros. Your bullpen has been shaky. It's been shaky. They've given up some leads recently, and we've appreciated that. But let's talk about the market here, because this is where it's kind of the markets have been dead on in these games. I don't know the exact, like betting sequence I've had in this game, but like game 1, I was all over the Astros with Arrighetti. Game 2, I think I was on Baltimore. And yesterday I was on Baltimore as well against Framber because the line was just really fishy that day. It was only minus 120 with Framber and Albert Suarez. So we took that and we won. It was great. Now let's see where we are today because it's pretty even. And it's like, I don't know, really. How can we split these teams now? And it's like, oh, man, I don't know. Minus 110 opener. It's down to minus 108, which, it is a nice feeling, but 50-50 ticket split, which we almost never get anymore. 56% of the money on the Astros. I mean, honestly, and I've heard this, saying or whatever. I've heard people say that books try to line games to get equal action on both sides. I don't believe that anymore. Like I just there's just no way that's true. Obviously now, and in this game, it's a rare game where it's like, okay, now they have 50-50 on both sides. The line's not like moving too convincingly one way. So it just makes it extremely difficult for me to bet. As you guys know, I'm like 85% market based here. So market's not showing his hand. I can't really do much. 58% bets on the over. Only 44% of the money on the over. Yeah, it's just, hey, two really good teams playing in the, primetime spot is going to get a lot of rec bettors, a lot of bettors that, they were betting football yesterday. Now they've got no more football to bet today. So let's bet on the primetime baseball game. It's pretty split. I don't find an edge here either way. And like I said, totals wise, it's tough. We had 3 cents of movement down to the under. So I probably lean under with him, but I don't know. I just think it's a pass game for me here. So I'll be interested. Honestly, this is just me trying to interpret lines like I have been in this series. I was a little surprised to see the Astros as a favorite. Probably lean Astros here with you, BJ. But I don't think I will be moving on it officially here, and it's going to be very, very, very fun to watch this game. So no action here, and I'm glad that you guys in the chat are starting to debate Bonds Ohtani. I mean, it's going to be the debate of baseball. Like it's truly going to be like, how much do you value Ohtani the pitcher? And we're probably going to get a lot of what Cab's saying here. Cliff, I should say. Ohtani, probably the better baseball player, but the better pure hitter, it's Barry Bonds. I mean, come on. But yeah, better player. I don't know. It's tough. So let's go over the action I have here. Ladies and germs, again, thank you guys all for being here and watching a little solo Say Hey plays. Shout out to Dabby Cab in the chat. Great job yesterday on the college football. Ty Clinton asking about Minnesota A's here. I don't have any action on it, Ty, but yes, obviously, people in the chat, let us know what you guys think. And Barry Smith, the most factual statement you said today. The league 1,000% colluded to keep Barry Bonds out at the whatever age he was. He was at 40 or whatever, and he was still like cranking bombs and having like OPS clearly over 1,000 or whatever. Yeah, 43. Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, it was very Colin Kaepernick-esque, when all the owners like, you know what? Fuck this guy. We're not signing him. So, hey, it happened. Whatever. I hope the Barry Bonds documentary that I would love to work on is really good and has that stuff in there. So, I agree. But let's go to our action here. And Barry, it's nice to see you. You went from one of my first trolls to one of my favorite commenters, Barry. So shout out to you, my guy. Yes, we are down about 2.6 units on the year now. I need to double check. Yeah, so we're 427, 455, down 2.6 units on the year. ROI minus 0.26. We are in touching distance of the black. So let us get there today. It's going to be very fun to watch these games and hopefully end up as a Wayne Capper by the end of the day. So my card, official, Arizona Diamondbacks plus 112, Colorado Rockies first 5 team total over 1.5 minus 120. Full game money line for the Rockies as well, plus 204. New York Metropolitans money line at plus 106. And the daily Seattle Mariners fade, as we will be executing here. San Francisco Giants plus 112. Full game money line there. It's going to be a fun one. And I will, if you guys watch Say Hey Plays, Betting with the Bag, the Low Shack show, and you guys watch me give out plays on those shows, you guys are going to hear me say the Seattle Mariners fade quite a bit and say that and explain what I'm doing probably a few more times. So thank you guys for hanging in there as I probably repeat myself and you watch these shows frequently. So thank you guys. Tomorrow we have Medicate Monday. Obviously, come tune in there. We'll be live. All the videos, bets, Dabby Cab dominating, by the way. He's like 15-1 in the last like 3 Mondays. So definitely come over for that. Tuesday, the first Peter Loshak show in quite a while. No Jimmy. And then Tuesday night, the first bankroll blitz of the season. Troy Torrance of up 40. I think it was Troy up 40 units at the end of the NFL regular season last year, Troy. So please tune in because Troy is a wealth of knowledge. The spreadsheet, it's all great. Jimmy the Bag there as well, dominating NFL last year as well. Won the Survivor contest last year for those who forgot. So please come tune in. Bankroll Blitz future show Tuesday. Dabby Cab. Only 14-2 on his last 3 Mondays. So shout out to Dabby Cab again. Go watch Medicate Monday because Jesus Christ, 14-2 on 3 shows is fucking ridiculous. So shout out to you guys again. Future show tomorrow. Bankroll Blitz. Do not forget, season 2 officially starts on Tuesday. Monday, Medicate Monday, and this Friday as well. We have our poker tournament official, I hope. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll obviously be doing the live stream and $50 bounty on my head. Come try to knock out yours truly. And if you are successful, I will send you $50 American dollars. $50 American dollars. Even for the Canadians, I will send it in American so you can have so much more. So thank you guys. Gravy, Dabby, Truth, Justin, Jarek, my dude, Barry, Ty Clinton, Jay Peasy. This is the argument, JP. That's what everyone's gonna say. That's what everyone's gonna say. It's gonna be fun. I cannot wait for it's gonna be like 40 years of arguing Ohtani versus Bonds. And I can't wait. It's gonna be so fun. Cliff Yang, outside new traveling laws. All you guys, thank you for being here. We appreciate you guys. Oh, thank you, Barry. Barry's gonna knock me out for free, huh? Well, Sometimes I have to pay for Helga to, use the, tie and knock me out that way. But if you're going to do it for free, Barry, thank you. But thank you guys again for watching. We'll be back here Monday morning, Medicate Monday. Till then, say hey, and we'll see you guys next time for another edition of Say Hey Plays.